As you may know, land agents have always represented the oil company. We believe the landowner has a right to choose who represents them. So we created a company that represents the landowner directly. I invite you to listen to what Vass and Associates can do for you.
I grew up in rural Saskatchewan. We didn't have much when I was growing up, and I always dreamed that I would own a ranch in the foothills. My dream came true. My wife and I married 38 years ago, and we moved out here the day after we got married. And we've raised all of our children, all of our grandchildren here. This farm, this land, this ranch has created an environment for us to grow up with our kids on. And it's just been a real blessing and a dream come true. And we love our land. I've been a land agent for 35 years. In the old days, we used to do things differently. I'd always insist that the landowner would meet me and the surveyors the very first visit. In every case, the landowner was glad that he took the time to get involved at that stage of the process. There's always so much to consider when surveying a well site, access road, or pipeline, let alone a compressor site or an oil battery. Things like future potential subdivision, water sources, access roads, and how it affects the farming operation, future plans of the oil company, and so many more important things to consider, like alignment of wellheads on pad sites. This doesn't happen anymore. I used to be able to talk directly to the engineer or geologist and get reasons why they wanted to locate well sites or facilities in spots that didn't make any sense, and then reason with them to move it to a place that made more sense for everyone. Now, the very best that happens is a landowner may be given an opportunity to meet with a construction rep from the company that usually pushes pretty hard to pick locations and access roads that are best for him. Well, I think it's time for a change. I think it's time to push back just a little bit. I think it's time for landowners to be given more information and more options for what the oil company is proposing to do on their land. I think it's time the landowners are fairly represented by someone who is acting on their behalf to make sure they are all treated fairly at every level, including negotiating for compensation. Why should a landowner have to wonder if he's getting the same deal as his neighbor or that farmer who deals directly with the oil company? I can identify with landowners because I own land, and I've had oil companies knock on my door on a fairly regular basis. I have a major pipeline being constructed on my land right now. I know what it's like to put up with noise and inconvenience and have to pick up flagging and stakes and pipe caps and other junk that blows across my land. I know what it's like to have my field cut in two and not being able to use my land the way that I want to. That's why we started Vass and Associates, so that we can help landowners make the oil company understand what it feels like to have our private property invaded the way it is when they come on to explore and produce their oil and gas, and how we should have more to say about how and when that takes place, and how much it is worth to us to put up with all we're expected to put up with so that they can rightfully produce what is theirs. So that is why we want to represent you. To summarize, as a direct representative, we can help you with the following. We can help you coordinate your survey, negotiate compensation on new agreements, rental reviews, and damage settlements, supervise well site and pipeline construction. We can represent you at ERCB or Surface Rights Board hearings, provide legal advice as required. We can even provide environmental services when required. Make sure all the promises made by the oil and gas company are kept, and all issues that come up are dealt with in a timely fashion.
I've been a land agent for right around 10 years. And during my time as a land agent, one of the things that I've noticed is a huge need is for landowners to be able to manage and track their well sites and pipeline. So what Vass and Associates has done is we've decided to create a software called the Landowner app that allows you to track and manage all your well sites, pipeline, and even upload any issues that you have so that we can resolve it quickly. By you using Vass and Associates, you get access to this tool for absolutely free.
Let Vass and Associates represent you. Give us a call today.